Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the Netgear router. So we can go into wireless settings, and this is where we can change the settings for the 2.4 gigahertz frequency and the 5 gigahertz. Here we're going to stay with channel 6 on the 2.4, and you can change the SSID. You can also choose the max theoretical throughput mode. And we're going to go here and select WPA2 pre-shared key for our encryption type. And this is where we can set our password. We're going to choose ITEL admin. The same can be done for the 5 gigahertz frequency. So this router has options for a guest network. We can choose to broadcast or not broadcast the SSID on both bands, and play with the encryption settings.
Here we have the ASUS RT N66U router settings. In the general settings, you can set up VLANs on both the 2.4 GHz band and 5 GHz band. There's also traffic monitoring, which can allow you to prioritize upload and download speeds for specific applications. Now, in wireless settings, you can adjust the frequency settings. And you can assign SSIDs for each frequency. Here you can choose whether to hide the SSID or not. In this case, we won't. And you can choose which wireless mode you would like to operate on. Here you can edit the channels. We'll stay with channel 6. And here you can change the channel bandwidth. In this case, we'll use the WPA2 personal, and we'll just type in a network key here. Now when hitting apply, the router actually does not need to restart, unlike the other routers that we will be reviewing. Here we'll do the same, but for the 5 GHz band. Here you can change the DHCP settings. Here you can select your firewall settings. In this case, we have it enabled, but for testing, we disabled it.
Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the TP-Link router settings page. Here we can see the current status of all of our settings, and on the left we can go to wireless, and here is where we can change the SSID, the band, but in this case the TP-Link is only capable of broadcasting one band at a time, so we have to choose 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. We can choose the mode, BGN, the width of the channel, the bandwidth, and we can choose what channel we are going to be on. In this case, we are going to choose auto, and for our max transfer rate, we're going to choose 216 megabits per second. And then, after we're done changing the settings, a reboot is required for the router. And this process takes significantly longer than the other two routers. After the router is rebooted, the settings are changed, and we're going to show you some wireless security settings. So it's in here where you can change the password type, authentication type, encryption type. And of course, when this is done, we need to reboot the router, which takes, again, a very long time. And we can also go into some more wireless settings. We can see which MAC addresses are on the network. We can change the power of the radio. And if we go into wireless statistics, we can see the number of users connected to the access point. On the left, you'll also find more security settings, including firewall. You can set up a VPN, um, and more advanced security settings.